welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I am going to be doing a big sit down chatty Q&A. I want to be very honest, I am so jet lagged right now. I got back from LA and Vegas last night. I literally got back to my apartment at 9 p.m. and it is currently 4:19 the following day. And last night I literally could not sleep. Like as soon as I got into bed, well as soon as I got in, sorry, I laid down in bed and then laid there for like 3 hours. Then got this sudden burst of energy where I was like, yeah, I'm gonna unpack, I'm gonna do all my washing. And I unpacked and put my washing in the washing machine and then fell asleep again. But I was waking up like every hour. So hopefully tonight I'm actually going to be able to beat jet lag and just sleep all the way through. If I can, I will be absolutely buzzing. But yeah, today I thought it would be nice just to do a very chill sit down Q&A, especially because all of my videos have been super vloggy and I feel like I've had a lot of questions over the last couple of weeks. I thought it would be nice to sit down and just have a nice little chat with you guys. I hope you enjoy. If you do, please smash a huge thumbs up, and other than that, let's get started. Also, yes, I'm filming from my bed today. I thought it would be really just comfy and cozy to do a Q&A from my bed. I actually might film from here more, especially since I've done it up. Like I did that video a couple of weeks ago redecorating my room. So if you haven't seen it already, I will leave it linked down below. It looks so cozy now and it just gives off like slight hotel vibes, especially with like the lights on the wall, which I love. Okay, the first question, I got so many questions about Coachella, like what's your honest opinion? Is it overrated? How expensive is it? So I'm going to give you the full lowdown and my full opinion on Coachella. So this year it was my second year going to Coachella. I actually went back in 2018 and that was obviously 5 years ago, and I went when I was underage, which meant I couldn't obviously drink, and I also went like with a brand for the whole weekend. So I wouldn't really say it was like I could give my full opinion on it because I was going by very much not my itinerary. This time I still went with a brand. Primark actually sent myself and Saf, but they only sent us like to wear their outfits. We weren't doing like a brand itinerary out there, so I actually got to fully experience Coachella for the first time, I guess. Obviously I knew what the general festival was like, and compared to a British festival, it's not like dirty. I think British festivals are pretty dirty, you know, like the toilets are grim, there's just rappers and like rubbish all over the floors everywhere. Obviously the weather can be a bit hit and miss, whereas in Coachella obviously you're in Palm Springs, like the weather's like 30 degrees, everywhere is super clean and super pretty and very like visually like and aesthetically pleasing. So in that way I much prefer Coachella. I think overall it is potentially a little bit overrated, but maybe I'm just a bit salty because the year that I went like 5 years ago, the headliners were Beyonce, The Weeknd and Eminem. And obviously I mean Beyonce, like I literally saw one of the best Coachella performances that has ever been. And then this year I just personally wasn't as big of a fan of the lineup as I was the year when I went previously. So this year it was Frank Ocean, Bad Bunny and Blackpink who headlined. I was really annoyed at myself because I actually missed a lot of the acts performing at Coachella. Like when we went to Palm Springs this year, I felt like we spent more time at the parties than we did at the actual festival, which I'm kind of annoyed at now because there was a lot of people on the lineup I really wanted to see, but we just never made it there in time, and they brought out some like amazing people. Like I really wanted to see Labyrinth and he ended up bringing out Billie Eilish on weekend 1, and then he just brought out Zendaya on weekend 2, which is crazy. And then Metro Boomin brought out like Future, and apparently he brought out John Legend. I don't know how true that is, but apparently he brought out John Legend. Yeah, I missed a lot of people, so that aspect I'm very annoyed at myself for. Weirdly, I actually think I enjoyed the parties in Palm Springs more than the actual festival. Basically, I think what I realized is Coachella as a whole, yeah, it's probably a little bit overrated now. I still love it and I'm still going to go back next year because I love the parties. I love Palm Springs. Palm Springs is one of the most beautiful places, but as a whole, yeah, and it's so expensive as well. Like being completely honest, me and Saf and Jake already had our LA and Vegas trip planned before we actually found out that we were going to be going to Coachella, and we'd spoken about it, like do we buy tickets, should we go? And we actually priced it all up and we were like, it's just so expensive, like we're not going to do it. And then we were really lucky because Primark wanted to work with Saf and I, so they actually paid for our tickets and paid for our hotel in Palm Springs. So we were super grateful that we got to go, but because of how expensive it was, we actually weren't going to go. I think everything in inside the festival is so expensive, but I think that's in general with LA now. Like, I was genuinely shell-shocked by how much even like a basic drink is, and the drinks at the festival were so strong I couldn't even enjoy them. Like, just to put into perspective how much it cost us for one round, there was 4 of us drinking, and we all had either like a double vodka, like a double vodka Coke, or like a double vodka lemonade, and the rounds were coming out at about $150, which works out about £120, and for 4 doubles, that is crazy. So yeah, as a whole, very expensive. However, it is like a once in a lifetime experience, you know, and I'm so grateful that I got to do it, and I would definitely go back and do it again. I think I just prefer maybe the more party aspect rather than the actual festival aspect, but maybe that's just because I'm a bit salty and I didn't get to see who I wanted to see this year. But I'm excited to see who the lineup is going to be next year. Apparently Justin Bieber got asked this year and said no, so if he says yes next year, that is going to be unbelievable. Tell us a story that happened whilst you were away. So I feel like so many stories happened, and Saf and I have got so many things to tell the podcast, which, by the way, just on the topic of the podcast, yes, we are coming back. We finished the season, and then you go on a bit of like a break between seasons, but me and Saf are so excited that we did get picked up for another season, which is just, we found out when we were in LA. Like, we kind of knew already, but we found out like confirmation when we were away. We were like, this is amazing. So yeah, it is coming very, very, very soon, and lots to update you guys on, lots of stories. So yeah, the main stuff is going to be on the podcast. But like, something that happened whilst we were away, I mean, when we were actually at Coachella, not going to out who it was because I feel bad, but like, we didn't really get to do much on the second night because we're pretty sure that our friend got spiked. They literally just took a turn within like 10 minutes of drinking to throwing up like violently. So I was looking after them for a couple of hours, so I didn't really get to do much on the Saturday night, so that took a turn, which is why my vlog was a bit all over the place as well, because a lot of people were like, you didn't really vlog the festival, and I was like, yeah, because I wasn't actually really there. And then, okay, to this story, right, I think Saf briefly told this in her vlog. So when we were in Vegas, this was my first time in Vegas, I really did not know what to expect. Like, I did not know what to expect by the clubs, by the people there, like everything. And we went into this club, we were in Hakkasan, and you're not actually meant to film in there, you're not allowed to film the performances. I don't really know why, but you were just told when you walked in, do not get your phone out in this club. I was like, okay, I won't. I did actually film the ceiling thinking about it, so I probably could have got kicked out, but I think they more meant you just can't film like the performer, like you can, because other people have their phones out as well, so that actually doesn't make sense. I think they meant you just can't film the person performing, not the actual club. But anyway, we were dancing and whatever, and these group of guys, I remember, pulled over one of the girls that we were with, and they were being really lovely. Like, everyone that we met out there was so lovely and so respectful, and yeah, that was really, really nice. And they were like, oh, do you want to come to Dre's afters, which is like, because everywhere in Vegas shuts maybe like 2, 3ish, and then people will have like after parties, but in Dre's they have like an after party that goes on until like really early hours of the morning. So we were like, yeah, sure, why not? And these guys had like a security guard with them, so we were like, who are they? They had a lot of like chains on, they were very like blinged out. We were like, I don't really know who they are, but they seem really lovely, whatever. So we were having some drinks with them, and then the security guard was like, wait there, we're gonna get a bus. And we were like, oh my god, okay. Like, we weren't on our own, by the way, we were in a group, there was like 4 of us, so we were completely fine. And we got on this party bus with the security guard, who then proceeded to tell us that he was on a lot of drugs, and he was like, oh yeah, if anybody tries to touch them, like, I'm a teddy bear. And I was like, oh, okay, so that's a really good security guard. Like, this is just very strange. Like, the security guard has just admitted that he's on drugs. Then we got to the club, and this random older guy who was like, I'd say about 55, 60 years old, who happened to be with this group of people, would come over to Jake and was like, oh, Jake, are you gonna buy some bottles for the table? And we weren't planning on really drinking anymore, so like our immediate response was like, well, in my head was like, no. Jake was like, obviously being really polite, like, oh, how much are they? And he was like, oh, they start at about like 1,500, like, you gonna buy a couple? And we were like, oh my god, no. So we literally ran into the casino and like hid behind some of the slot machines to get away from this group of people. We managed to do it, and we didn't see them again the whole trip, but it was just so weird. And the guy was definitely faking being rich, and the security guard was genuinely like, if I asked Callum to go and put like a top on and some sunglasses and stand there and pretend to be my security guard, that's the sort of vibe it was giving off. So yeah, very strange, but a very fun experience. That was one of the stories. That was like a very tame story that happened in Vegas. Updates on your health scare. So I actually spoke a lot about this on Instagram. I really can't remember if I spoke about it on YouTube or not, and I'm still not going to go into massive detail in this video just because I still don't have like 100% full answers. I will tell you, I've got 2 diagnoses diagnosis. I've been diagnosed with 2 different things, and I'm just hoping that there's nothing else and the pain that I'm getting is all related to that. But I've had God knows how many tests done, and I actually have a phone call with the doctor in an hour at 5:30. He's calling me back again just to discuss some of the results that I got, because I got results back whilst I was in LA. But yeah, I've been diagnosed with 2 different things, and I'm gonna do a separate video on those 2 different things that I've been diagnosed with, I think in a couple of weeks, once I've spoken to the doctor, because I think I've got to have one more round of tests again, and then all depending on if those results are fine, then I will speak about it, because I don't want to speak about it and then it turns out to be something else, or I've been misdiagnosed or whatever. Like, I just want to make sure that my health anxiety is like through the roof, but what I have is definitely what I have, and then I will speak about it. But yeah, I am actually okay. I feel mentally a lot better than I did. My health anxiety was absolutely horrendous, and it is still really bad. Like, I don't do the whole, I'm not feeling for my heartbeat anymore. I've stopped doing that. I can actually sleep now in silence, which is so good, because I couldn't sleep without having like background noise on, because I was like listening for the sound of my own heartbeat, which was really draining. All of those side effects have gone now. It's just the constant self-diagnosing myself with things that is really draining and really tiring for my brain, and I feel like half the time I think myself into a lot of the pain that is there. Like in LA, like for a couple of days it completely went away and I was like, this is amazing, and then it's kind of all come back again, so it's just like a never-ending cycle really. But yeah, I'm grateful to have the 2 diagnoses that I have, I want to say so far, but hopefully they're going to be the only 2 and I'm going to be fine. But yeah, I am doing okay though. I feel like a lot better mentally. I think now I'm home, I just need to get back into a routine and get my anxiety down as much as I possibly can. And I mean, I think once I've spoken to the doctor tonight, hopefully I will feel a lot better, and once I've gone back and had, fingers crossed, which will be the last lot of tests, I'll be a lot better. But to me, like, I'm just trying to look at it as, you know, it's part of growing up and it's part of becoming an adult. Like, I've always been really lucky with my health. I've been super healthy pretty much all growing up. Like, I've had things wrong, like I've had like rashes and I've had like a couple of broken arms, but that's been as kind of as serious as it has got. So yeah, I've always been super healthy, so I think that's why it kind of just shocked me a little bit, because it was something completely new that I was having to deal with. But overall I do feel a lot better, so thank you so much to everyone who was asked. And yeah, I will genuinely do like a full video explaining everything, and like, yeah, I'll go into details when I actually fully know. Oh my god, so I also got a lot of messages asking if I was okay, because the hate at the moment, especially on TikTok, has been quite something. And I'm not gonna lie, whilst I was away, it actually very much affected me. There was this account going around on TikTok, and I don't care about speaking about it now because it got taken down, and the person who runs this account, or who ran this account, I think is a very sad person to want to do this to someone, and I think it says way more about you than it does about me. But there was an account and they were like screenshotting my Instagram photos, and then screenshotting me with no makeup on in my YouTube videos from like bad angles, and like when I'm talking and obviously not posing, and they were putting them together like, she is promoting unrealistic beauty standards, blah 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 blah, and they were getting like, I think one of them had like 1.5 million views. All the comments, well, the majority of the comments were really lovely and were sticking up for me, but I don't think people realise, like, seeing that is so detrimental to someone's mental health and like mental well-being. Like, I don't think even maybe the person who made it even realises how much that can affect someone. Like, I was looking at all the pictures and I was reading the comments, and I'm like, I tried to show myself in the most natural way possible on YouTube as well, because I don't want to promote anything that's super unrealistic. I don't want to do that because I know how bad that can be also for people's mental health. And I've openly admitted, of course, I've used a little bit of Facial in the past. Like, I'm not gonna sit and deny that. We've all smoothed our skin a little bit. Like, it makes us feel good when posting the picture. But on YouTube, I've shown myself with no makeup on, with wet hair, in my complete natural habitat, and I have no shame in showing any of that. And I think that's why it took me by surprise, because it's obvious. Like, I don't buy makeup to look the exact same. Like, I should hope with the amount of money I've spent on makeup, it will make me look better. So the fact that I am really open and show myself naturally and do that without a care in the world, and then for someone to go and like compare them both and basically call me ugly, and the things and the names I was getting called were just astronomical, it hurt. Like, it actually really hurt my heart. I was like, this is just so sad, like, to read. And also, like, it just knocked my confidence a bit, really. Like, I've been feeling pretty insecure recently anyway, and then seeing all of that, I was like, wow. Like, when people pick apart these little things about someone, it makes you so insecure to the point like I don't even want to smile because people are tearing me apart so much. Like, it just makes me feel so shit. So please be so careful with your choice of words on the internet, and please be so careful, you know, whoever made that account and whoever decided to comment hate on that account, like, please just put your time and your effort into doing something actually beneficial for your life instead of trying to drag me down, because yeah, I mean, not to get deep, but it can really affect someone, and nobody deserves that. And especially because I tried to show myself in like the best, most natural way possible on YouTube, and I'm really open and honest with you guys about that. I think that is what like made it a lot worse for me. Other than that though, I feel fine. It was more just like the kind of embarrassment. Like, I woke up to so many messages from people like, I hope you're okay, I've been seeing all the hate you've been getting, and I was like, wait, what? Like, at that point I actually hadn't seen it myself, so I was so confused. I was like, oh well, like I'm fine, and then I read it all and I was like, oh, maybe I'm not. And like last night when I got back, I think because I hadn't been on my own for like 3 weeks, and you know when you're like finally on your own after being with loads of people, I literally just broke down and cried. I was like, I needed to like let it out and get it out of my system and just cry it out, and I feel so much better for doing that. I feel like I've just word vomited, but anyway, overall I do feel so much better now. They are pretty much all of the questions I'm going to answer. I basically just wanted to do like a really chilled sit down sort of vibe. Let me know if you want me to do more of these videos, and if you want me to do them like with other people, because I've got a big bed here, so like I could get people to come sit in the bed with me. We can have a chat, we can do a Q&A, we can eat, we can do, you know, I feel like it'd be really fun. Like when I used to do that breakfast in bed series and I with like Atticus, I loved doing that. So if you would like to see me do that with other people, let me know, and let me know who you want me to do it with down below. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for all the love recently over on my Instagram, my TikTok, my YouTube. It genuinely hasn't gone unnoticed, and I'm so grateful for all of the lovely comments and all of the lovely, just the support that you guys give me. Like genuinely, it means the world, so thank you. I love you all so much, and I will see you very soon for a brand new video. Bye.